podcast is a member of WildGamesProductions.com and D20Radio.com.
They came from the game table, dice bags in hand,
We have one brain that we share between us.
to talk about role-playing for all across the land.
And you'll like it.
The original, then basic, then one they scoured,
Kinda grabs you by the boo-boo, don't it?
to bring AD&D to the second power.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Welcome to THACO's Hammer, the best damn AD&D second edition podcast ever.
All right, everybody react to the mirror ball, the tennis balls of the crowd, and action.
Yes, I think we could do it like that. Hiya, folks. DM Glenn here. THACO's Hammer number 169. 69 with 100 behind it.
Yep.
Is that a... Oh, gosh, I better shut up.
Yeah, I was about to say something myself, and I'm like, nope.
No.
Gotta keep that clean tag.
Yeah, Brad has hit it in the first 5 minutes. Nice, okay.
Yeah, well, it's no different than any other episode. I have to edit the first 20 or so.
Anyway, this is THACO's Hammer, and I'm DM Glenn. You know how I know? Because it says there. I pulled a little trick I used to do on the radio when I was at the new station. Somebody put it up there. I wrote on an index card THACO's Hammer, and under it DM Glenn, and put it on my wall. So now I won't be saying things I won't supposed to say.
Yeah, you did have a little streak going there for a while. It's true.
A little.
Yeah,
for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. In case you didn't notice, this is DM Brian.
Hey, folks, what's going on out there?
And we cannot forget DM Full-On Gamer.
Greetings, Gamer Nation. DM Full-On Gamer from the upstate New York Wilds. How's it going, everybody? It's 2021. You're not dressing Mad Max yet? Why? It's allowed.
I don't know. You put me out of like gamer shirts and Hawaiian shirts. It looks weird. Unless I'm doing a show. Then it's supposed to look weird.
Yeah. We're
going to go. Right now, we're going to go into hits and crits.
Well?
One thought he was invincible, the other thought he could fly.
So?
They were both wrong.
Son of a bitch is dug in like an Alabama tick.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
We're sending somebody in to negotiate. Anybody else want to negotiate?
Hits and crits. Hits and crits. You always have to have the last word, don't you? But
Yeah, sometimes. Not all.
All right, who wants to go first? Which one of you wants to go first?
You go ahead, full on.
What you doing?
Hits and crits for me. I'm a level 1 chainsaw wielding loony after chopping up the tree that tried to fall into my driveway. So
Oh my goodness.
now I have firewood for the season. And following on with that, I've got my 2021 Con in-person reservations complete for lodging and attendance. I just need to sort through the game registry and figure out what events to go to and get those piled in.
Which con is that?
Yay!
Which one?
Gen Con.
Oh, he's going to
Gen
2021.
Con. Oh, you're already
Gen
planned
Con.
out. Yeah.
I go into the deep end of the pool. You know?
See, I
so
still won't go.
September I'll be in Indy.
See, you got an advantage. I still won't go to Gen Con because it's too crowded. But all you have to do is pull your big semi in there and make space.
Well, first he's got to take a month to get his rig, to jazz it up for maximum overdrive style.
Like his car.
Yeah, and just basically just with the spikes in the wheels and the extra reinforced crash bumpers all around.
Mega weapon. Yeah. People who know will know.
Not say it's time for war. It's not time for Road Warrior yet. So do the war rig and you're good.
There go
Besides,
weapon.
you'd love to see me in the hockey mask and the leather gimp suit. Woody Among Us is here. We are rolling dice now.
There go weapon. People who know will know that.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, you sound like you're having a ball out there.
Trying to.
Well, there's still work. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of work, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What?
No. Yeah, I got that done, and I've got my Kickstarter Bones 5 stuff has started arriving. So I've got my 3.5 foot tall, 3.5 foot long, 1.5 foot tall, foot wide, multi-layered, segmented pirate ghost ship, among other things.
So you're going to actually be running something?
No, that's just what I have at the house that I have to put on my list of more things to paint.
Understood.
But it is an awesome thing.
It is an awesome thing.
Definitely.
Okay. Anyway, speaking of work, how you doing, Brian?
What's
going on?
Well, let's see. Since last we got together, which was about the end of March. Let's see.
It's the middle of July now.
Yeah, time of recording, July 19th, 2021. Yeah. Well, first off, my son's birthday was yesterday. He turned 7.
Yay!
Yeah, he had a lot of fun, and then he was up to midnight because he was so jazzed up about the day.
All that sugar.
Yeah,
Anya's birthday was the day before yesterday.
Congratulations to her.
Sweet. Yeah, it's funny how that works out.
Go ahead. You finish. I want you to finish.
Well, I got a lot, and so do you. Let's see. One of the things I had been doing, of course, is my own podcast, Confessions of an Arcade Addict. I'm up to episode 40 now. I'm probably going to record 41 sometime this week, if I ever get the time, because I have someone coming to stay with us for at least a couple of months while her daughter does house shopping. They're basically moving house from the San Joaquin Valley in California to more or less an hour outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So yeah, it's a thing.
It's cheaper in Oklahoma.
I believe that. The first house they actually got an offer on, they required $25,000 in $25,000 to get the electrical done for the house, so they had to pass on that.
Oh man.
So there's a whole big thing. So let's see. So that's going on. That's taking place starting on Wednesday, and I still have to get the second bedroom ready. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's fun. I just took the mattress out to the dumpster. Yeah, when you've got 2 bad shoulders, that's a whole lot of fun. Let's see. Also, starting in what was it? The second week of June, I think, or third week in June. I got an offer to be an attendant at a local arcade. One that I've been frequenting for the last 5 years. And it was just weird because I was in there playing games, and one of the attendants came up to me, this cute, quirky girl with the Megane glasses on, and she asked me if I knew anybody who would be able to, who would be interested in working at the arcade. I said, yeah, me. So the one night a week that I
love it when they offer you jobs.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I'm like, yeah, I can spare me. So the one night a week that I have off, which was Saturdays, now I work the evening shift at the arcade, 6 to 11. It's not that big of a deal, just taking people's money, giving them wristbands, listening to them complain about, a game not working right, and, cleaning, basically counting out the till at the end of the night and cleaning the place up before, locking up for the night and going home.
You're the guy from Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've been there for a month now?
Yeah. basically I don't make a whole lot of money, but it's enough to put gas in my tank and pay for my lunch at my primary job at the hospital for about a week or so. So that's no big deal. D&D wise, I've been working on my characters for adapting them into my Mystara campaign. I'm currently at a sort of I'm not a writer's block, but basically I've been importing characters I've been playing since like the mid 80s. Mm-hmm. And right now I'm at this Elven Fighter Mage that's like level 15 in both. And basically I could not remember his past history to save my life, so I had to recreate it. And he also has a daughter who's like 13th level mage in her own right. So I had to like sort of redo and sort of define their relationship.
Right.
And I did her past history first, so I had a little frame of reference of when I did his, because of course, how old is he? He's like 600 years old or something like that. He's just approaching middle age as an elf, and he's done a whole lot. So I had to like completely redo it, and I used the random character history that I found online years ago, which helps out a lot. And so now I'm at the point where he and his daughter exiled themselves from the Elven nation in Alphacia, and and I still have to like do the next 50 or 60 years, I think. And I've already written a small book about it. Oh my goodness, it's like 4 or 5 pages of paragraphs about his past history, because as I'm writing, you know how it is, Glenn. Once you start writing and you start getting ideas to come off of what you're originally writing about, and then it branches out from there. So
if I'm lucky.
Yeah, well, I've said it a million times.
Now I was going through trying to create an adventure here in a new world that I stalled in the middle of it. So sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times on this show. My muse can be horribly lazy, where I won't get any sort of inspiration for like 6 months, and then all of a sudden I've got like 50,000 ideas I'm trying to, at least write down or mark down so that I don't forget them. Aside from that, like I said, I work 7 days a week now, but they're all part-time. There are no full-time shifts, so, basically, Full On was talking about broken sleep. I'm like, yeah, that's how it's been for me ever since probably about April or so. I think I've only had like 1 or 2 full nights sleep since then, because I go to bed late, which I shouldn't do. Then I have to get my son up to go to summer school. And then when he's off on the bus, then I'm awake, so now I got to do something until I get tired. Then I go and take a nap. Then my son comes home at 12, and then he's home for 2 hours until his ADA therapist or ABA therapist comes and picks him up. And then he's off until 7:30, and then I've got the home care aspect and taking care of stuff around the house. So I'm pretty busy.
I recommend anime to fill the holes where you're looking for something to do.
What holes? I don't have any.
You said you have, and I look for something to do until I'm tired. Well, you sit down and you watch about 3 or 4 episodes of anime.
Yeah.
Or season, whichever way you want to call it.
He's not wrong.
If you have things that you still need to reach out for on jump-starting ideas for backgrounds or campaigns, bounce them off us. Give us a reach out and a holler.
I know.
We can turn your railroads into roller coasters. That's the plan.
Yeah, I know.
Let's make them interesting.
I know. I've caught you guys' act. I know.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah. But yeah, so I'm pretty busy and whatnot. So tell me, Glenn, what have you been up to?
Okay. Where to start?
Begin at the beginning, Alice.
Yes. Well, let me let me address the last thing Full On said first.
Go ahead.
I still haven't gone through your anime Full On, but I do have a grandson named Gage who is advising me on what to watch and bugging me to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Good. My agents are in place, and they're trying to get you cultured.
And if you ever decide to send me any more anime, may I make a request? May I make a request? Well,
Yes.
I'm not going to say don't. But
I still haven't opened up the DVD player you bought me for.
They have the. He bought you a DVD player?
Yeah, he bought me like a portable DVD player.
He complained he couldn't watch Blu-rays, so I fixed that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then he sent that to me like a week after I went and bought myself a Blu-ray player for the living room, which I haven't opened either.
Well, I just happened to get a DVD ROM for my computer because the one on it kind of busted. So.
Right.
Anyway, where was I? Oh, my request is if they have a Blu-ray of the original Record of Lotus War, that would be awesome.
Oh yeah, that's way out.
Yeah, but the original series, it was I remember that. That was like
I still have it on VHS.
I used to have it on VHS. Wasn't that like the first D&D anime?
Sort of. I mean, it was based directly off of a D&D campaign that the creators
exactly.
played. Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my request. Anyway, where was I? Okay. I went to North Texas RPG Con with Gage, of course.
Mm-hmm.
After a year of not going.
Right.
And I need to GM more. I didn't GM enough this time. I GM'd one. I played one. Actually, I played two.
Wait. Time out.
Yeah.
Did you not say 4 or 5 months before North Texas saying that you did not want to GM at all?
Yes, I did not say that. But I realized I had more. See, I was trying to allow time to schmooze because it's been a year since I've been there, and I wanted to catch up with everybody.
Right.
And so I restricted myself to like one game I registered for and one game I ran.
Uh-huh.
Fortunately, one of my roommates was Mark Hunt.
Oh, cool.
And so he was in my Gangbusters game.
Oh,
in case you folks know, he wrote Gangbusters BX.
Yes,
so.
He did. Yeah, he's been keeping that game alive for a very long time.
And I was, no sweat. He was in my game. It's okay. No
pressure. No pressure.
Yeah, actually wasn't.
It's like running a Forgotten Realms, and then Ed Greenwood sits down at your table. What's hard is
he was sitting opposite me, and Gage was sitting next to me, and it's like I got to give everybody else a chance too, because both Mark and Gage will steal attention.
Why does that not surprise me?
Yes. But I ended up getting into a open game because Mark turned to me because he also wrote Tall Tales, which is a BX Western role-playing game. And he actually gave me a signed copy, and thank you, Mark, again. But he turned to me while we were out there, and he says, I want to run some Tall Tales, but I gave away all my books. And I said, use my book. You gave it to me. Yeah. I'm not using it right now. Here. So he ran a Tall Tales game, and that was a lot of fun. I got to play a gambler.
Mm-hmm.
I got to play a gunslinger who talked like Doc Holliday from Tombstone.
The 1990 version of Tombstone, right? Or 89 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He was a Southerner. Mm-hmm. And I learned one thing. Mm-hmm. No matter how good the money is, do not take a job to escort a herd of sheep through town to where the buyer is.
That's a bad idea.
Cattle, okay, not sheep. You will get a ton of trouble.
Yes, because everybody's going to try and steal one.
Because everybody hates sheep herders.
Mm-hmm.
all these ranchers, Anyway, good time was
First
had by
investment, sheepdogs. Good war sheepdogs.
Yeah,
war dog sheepdogs.
There you go. Oh, and full on, you'll like this. Gage played his first game of BattleTech.
How did he do?
Well, let me put it this way. When we went to sleep that night, I had to listen to him. Grandpa, I took out 2 hornets and I only had an arm and a leg.
If the engine's still running, the weapons will fire.
Exactly.
Yes. And I said, we've got to get full on back to this con so you can play with him. Play BattleTech with him. You will love it.
Mm-hmm. And I would also recommend the BattleTech game by Harebrained Schemes Gaming.
Is that a video?
That's a game. Yeah, it's a video. It's a video game.
Okay.
It's turn-based, based off of BattleTech, and I recommend it highly.
Okay.
I have noticed that they have MechWarrior Online available, and I may get into that and do the MMO version of mech piloting.
Yes.
Just because there's not enough MMOs in my life, and I need a outlet for a character that I have in my mind. His name is going to be Rampart R. Rampage. The R stands for Rico. So Rampart Recon Rampage is his proper given name.
Nice.
And he's going to be the best damn stealth tank DPS you've ever seen.
You know who?
My name is Rampart R. Recon.
Anyway, he had a ball. You know what else he had a ball playing?
What's that?
He got into a D6 Star Wars game.
Oh, cool.
Good.
And James Shields was running it. And he told me later about what he did in the game at one point. I guess they were in a Imperial base. I think it was back in the original trilogy. And he said he was disguised as a stormtrooper, and he said, what he did, it didn't work, but I was going to be a lot harder on him, but he pulled the perfect Han Solo. And I say, what do you mean? Because he got a hold of, he was on the comm, and he goes, hello, stormtroopers, who is this? It's a stormtrooper. And he said everybody laughed, and I was so tickled I went easy on him as far as not making it work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that's Gage,
Yeah. He's figured out his way. That's for sure.
Yes, I've got my spoils here, my loot I bought, and one of my loot is a great big 52-ounce Buc-ee's cup. That I use all the time. Yeah, one of those 52-ounce refillable ones, and because they got a Buc-ee's near there now, and I had to go and get one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else is falling apart in my life? I was supposed to run a game on the Monday night game once a month. We did a session 0, and then I got offered a part-time job, and now it turns into a one-shot because I can't do it anymore.
Isn't that funny how it works out? Isn't
it? I was supposed to run, get this, Fantastic Heroes and Witchery. Which is it says right on there, retro RPG.
Right.
It hews to 1E for the most part, but it's got, it's got a lot of classes in it, and they have some, they have it's race and class.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have is the usual suspects from advanced D&D. Plus we have stuff like it added tieflings.
Of course.
It added. You can play some kind of wraith in here. They also have. You can play a drow, which they call dark elves.
Mm-hmm.
But the weird thing is according to this game, drow are related to tieflings.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's
They've got not only the regular fantasy classes, but they also have swords and blaster classes too. If you want to go that way,
so this is turning into Final Fantasy.
It could be. You could play it. I mean, they say these are all optional. You can play like a He-Man type game. You can play a John Carter of Mars type game if you wanted. They said, we're not really getting into real hard sci-fi, but here's some stuff to play around. All sorts of options. The main claim to fame in this game is it has 666 spells.
That's a nice round number.
Oh, yeah. It's divided into white magic, black magic, and gray magic, and most of them have gray magic. Mm-hmm. The downside is there is no monsters or treasure.
Okay.
Because they said, here's the stat block we use for monsters. Find your own monster book and use it. We recommend Osric.
Wow.
And so I had to go pull out my Swords and Wizardry Monstrosities book, and I know I'm not going to, if I did it, I wasn't going to use it all the time because Heroes and Witchery is a heavy book. This is a heavy book. I'm tired of carrying heavy books.
Yeah, I get that.
And so I'm going to find something else, but, then I'm thinking of grabbing like Swords and Wizardry just for the monsters and the spells, or the monsters and the treasure. So, but they also do, it does ascending and descending, depending on what you want to do.
Want to do. Okay.
There's that.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
So that's not an issue, one way or the other.
No. But now I have no time to do it, nor does Gage have time to be in it either, because I don't have time to pick him up to go get it, to do the game. So,
that pesky real life.
Yeah, that pesky real life. You know all about that. That's why I don't think I don't hold a candle to you. So I'm just going to say that right now.
It was worse the beginning of the year, but it's mellowed out since then.
Okay, cool. Oh, and Kickstarters. I got 2 Kickstarters in the works. One is already closed. The other one's ending at the end of the month. I have backed Back to Basics. Remember that zine? Mm-hmm. They did 10 issues, and the Kickstarter was for a hardbound amalgamation of all 10 issues.
Uh-huh.
That was the cheap one. The expensive one was Hyperborea 3rd edition.
Wow.
Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerer, which is now called just Hyperborea. And he made enough changes in there that I wanted it. And he split it into 2 books, a player's book and a GM's book. Mm-hmm. Which everybody I say that to, and everybody goes, "Oh, thank God, that book was a monster." It's over 600 pages.
Oh, jeez. For Golden Glory, wasn't that many?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Actually, I've got one. I've got the Blight, which beats it at 800.
That's just way too much.
And that's just for that's not even a game. That's a source book for a city.
Okay. So somebody basically retconned the rule set around the city, it seems, because they had so much more material for it.
Yeah, it's a Swords and Wizardry book, so you don't really get the thing for it.
That's
but
way
anyway,
too much.
I know it is. But those are the Kickstarters I'm doing. And I'm just about done. That's all I can think. Oh, the podcast is going great.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Radio Grognard's going great. I just added another ad for the Hyperborea Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. I told Jeff I'm running until the end of the month when it closes. So
cool.
Yeah. And I can't. Oh, by the way, I'm on episode number 1083.
So yeah, you're well into your third year.
If we're gonna brag,
I can't hold a candle to that. You kidding me? I do one episode per month. I've been at it for 3 years.
Yeah, but I got the perfect storm. I do it daily, and they're only about 10 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep your chops up, and you're getting free swag. People are sending you stuff to review, right?
To review, which I have been lax on, and I will be I will still be lax on until next month, because I got to. Oh yeah, that's another thing. We got to move.
Right.
At the end of August, at the middle of August. So we've already got a place, and it's a whole nother headache that I don't want to get into right now. But anyway, that's me. Hey, guess what, folks? I didn't tell you at the beginning, but we're doing an email show.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
And I know some people are not happy about that, but you know what? Both Glenn and I have a lot of things to do today, and I have to be at work in 2 hours, so yeah.
Personally, I love email shows when they're done right, and we do them right.
Oh, we've had plenty of practice. We've been doing this for 11 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the first one is a voicemail.
Yes, it is. It's from Kojo. We finally got him to send us something.
Yay.
Mm-hmm. So let me get this going, and I'll play it for you starting right now.
Hey, how are my favorite hammer wielders? This is DM Kojo. It's been a while. Just wanted to give you a call. I heard your plea on the episode 165, and I thought maybe I could give a call in and check in with you guys. Teaching during COVID has been an extreme challenge, and so I have not been doing as much gaming lately as normal. And to be honest, I have not been doing a whole lot of second edition gaming. Mostly what I've been running is my Dungeon Crawl Classics and Old School Essentials, which is basically BX Moldvay Cook D&D re-edited. It's a great set of books if you've not checked those out. So my question for you guys was, since I'm not running 2E, but I am running Old School Essentials BX, what are some rules that you've used in other versions of the game from second edition? Is there anything that you ported over to other editions you played? One thing that I ported over is a version of Weapon Mastery for the fighter, and I use that for the fighter only in Old School Essentials to differentiate it from other warrior types, because the Old School Essentials Advanced line also has BX versions of Paladins, Rangers, and Barbarians, and Knights, which are their version of the Cavaliers. So anyways, I wanted to differentiate fighters, use Weapon Mastery for that, but I'm curious if there's any other things you ported over to other editions. Great. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
Thank you, Kojo. We appreciate it, don't we, guys?
Of course.
Always.
Just took him better part of 9 months to get to us, but okay. But I'll give him a pass.
Stop kvetching.
I'll give him a pass. He's a school teacher. He's had to deal with COVID issues. So
a hall pass?
Yeah, I'll just give him a hall pass. Exactly.
There we go. Anyway, first thing I want to say is DCC, but Old School Essentials rocks.
Of course you would say that.
Yes.
DCC's okay. It's okay.
But he talked about having what they have is I got the main rule book. I didn't get the little books they have.
Right.
I just got the big rain rule book, and I got 2 of the 4 of Advanced Fantasy, which is basically laying in 1E stuff.
Right.
Kind of like Advanced Labyrinth Lore, like Labyrinth Lore did.
Right.
But the trouble is, I only have the first 2 books. I don't have the other 2 books because they're still fulfilling the Kickstarter on that, and they're always out of stock.
Wow.
So damn it, Kevin, I need the Monsters of the Treasure book.
Wow.
But what I got is pretty good.
How long you been waiting for that book?
Quite a while. I can't even order it.
It's been at least a year, right?
I mean, can't you guys take pre-orders or something?
2 years?
See, the trouble with it is they're in England.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Say no more.
And, yeah, they're in England, and I can't remember the company name who handles it in America here.
Right.
But when I got the main book, it was like I had to wait a month and a half because we're waiting on the shipment.
Right. Yeah. Shipping is just completely horrible right now. It's all getting ugly.
I hear it's on the ship. I hear the ship is docked. I hear that kind of thing. So, and they're still, I can't believe it. It's been over a year, and they're still fulfilling Kickstarter off of that.
Well, they're probably having to take out a second mortgage just to pay for the shipping.
See, yeah. Okay.
I mean, seriously. Shipping rates from any other country is absolutely insane right now.
Hey, let's talk to Glenn Seal about that. He knows all about that. He sends me stuff, and, I show him the condition they come in, and I don't do that to complain, but he needs to know because he's spending a lot of money out of his pocket just to get it here.
For sure.
And it's like, if they're going to screw it up, I want them to know about it.
Right.
So, okay, I'm not going to. Anyway, like I said, what can we 2E in Old School Essentials? He said he mentioned weapon mastery.
Yeah, I think.
Now it's funny.
Go ahead.
I'd probably use weapon mastery too, but I wouldn't use. I'd use the rule cyclopedia weapon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I would use. That's a lot of fun.
Because 2E weapon mastery is a little too involved for me.
Really?
Yeah, really.
It's about the same. About the same. As a matter of fact, I would say even freaking out of the RC, that the weapon mastery rules there are a little more complex. Because
you know what, Brian?
What?
I'm going to cut you a break because I'm going to admit I'm wrong.
Okay.
Because I was thinking of the rule cyclopedia skill system.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, those are pretty much identical, but yeah. Okay.
But anything with the word proficiency in it just gives me the willy. Gives me the willies.
No, you
weapon,
just
non-weapon, I don't care.
Okay.
I know.
I
don't want to go. That was the beginning of the slippery.
We know.
That was the beginning of the slippery slope that ended up in 5th edition, or whatever current edition there is.
I could argue.
Don't make me say a 4-letter F word at you, feet.
Yeah, then there's
Did he
that.
say four?
Did
he say
feet.
fourth?
He said feet. F-E-A-T.
Oh, I'm not too crazy about them either. Oh, we could go on and on about this, but
yes,
weapon mastery is a good. The weapons proficiency system could probably work in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's very versatile. I always say it's everything is modular in 2nd edition. Well, the modules can be taken out and put somewhere else too.
Yeah, true. I mean, when I was dancing between 1st edition and BECME, I was basically taking stuff from 1st edition and working it into BECME all the time.
Why do you think they have stuff like Advanced Labyrinth Lord or these Advanced Fantasy in because people were doing that anyway.
Yes, they were
originally.
Yes, they were.
That's what I love. Yeah, that's why I love like Advanced Labyrinth Lord or OSE, because it feels like how you used to play. Oh, there's because the books weren't coming out real fast.
Right.
So you just grab the book and put it in your game, grab the book and put it in your game. Same difference. And we have the advantage now of the fact that they've already translated this into that game.
Right.
So you don't have to kind of jerry-rig stuff from 1st edition into your basic game.
Right.
Or 2nd edition for that matter.
Yeah, because everyone who has done this, they started with the BX stuff, and then they go with the 1E rules supplement, and they go from there, which is fine.
Right.
But
I mean, nobody thought when the Monster Manual first came out for 1E, nobody thought of, I better wait till the rest of them come out. No, hell no.
No, everything that was in there was used immediately. I mean, with 2nd edition, they just did almost all the basic monsters first, then they started adding in all the esoteric stuff.
Right.
Like Fiend Folio and the Outer Plane stuff, and Karator, and then the Forgotten Realms specific monsters, and so on and so forth. Right. And it was fun.
So what would you guys add to another game from 2E?
Well, the only thing
Same thing I always add.
Go ahead.
I always again cater to the fighters and the other combatants and stuff, and I flex things out and I borrow. I use all 3 versions of martial arts. I use the Fighter's Handbook Martial Arts, where it's just the table of D20 you roll on and you can adjust by how many slots you put into it. I use the or Adventures Martial Arts, where it's the formal martial art training, and I use the 3E Martial Arts, where it's the martial arts feats and talents, and I blend them together and make them all variable options depending on, are you a actual martial artist class person? Are you a fighter who's picked up some martial arts training? Were you training just general generic martial arts? Here's a general generic martial art. Are you a specific martial artist type? we can do that. If you want to be, I want to be a Wushu Master of Dragon style, well, we'll do Wushu Master of Dragon style. We have options for that too. So all of how you want your food to be can be food. Whoa,
Okay.
I know Kung Fu.
Just watch
Careful,
out for
I know
David Lopan. That's all I'll say.
Careful, I know Kung Fu.
Yep. Show
Yeah,
me.
you know Kung Fu. Yeah, you know Kung Fu. Like Hong Kong Fu, he knows Kung Fu.
Yeah, right. Actually, I had somebody play a character more or less like that. But her stats were just a little too good to be completely slapstick, like the Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
You know what's so fun about DC is the way they mix stuff up sometimes. Like I've seen them mix up, because they got the licenses, the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes characters with the DC heroes. You know, I've seen that. But I've also seen, because they also have the Hanna-Barbera license through Warner's, they did a whole series of like Hanna-Barbera reboots, but I also saw them, I think, which one was it? I can't remember which superhero. I think it was The Flash or something like that, with Hong Kong Fu.
The show you didn't know you needed to watch, which I have on disc, but I haven't sent to you yet. You can get it just by going onto your HBO and going to the DC collection, Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I've seen clips from that. I want to see that.
Oh my god!
It is awesome. It is fun.
Oh.
You won't know that it's the show you needed to see until you've seen it.
Right.
Wow.
Anything in the DC stuff, the DC direct-to-video, anything that says Batman is pretty awesome.
But go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No,
I'm
I was
done.
just going to say, is it the cartoon Ninja Turtles or the comic book Ninja Turtles?
I think it's a cartoon.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
that lowers my interest level.
Depends on which cartoon you're talking about.
The one that all the kids would watch on Saturday afternoon and at 3 o'clock after school back in the 90s. Whoops.
Well, let me put it this.
No. It's the medium dark one. There were several incarnations of Turtle Tunes, and this is the medium dark one.
Okay.
Not the April O'Neil silly.
Right.
Well, here's
and not like the hyper violent Eastman and Laird version either.
Not quite. Yeah.
Not quite. Okay.
Well,
all right.
let me give you a little incentive on here. From what I've seen, the two big bads who team up are Shredder and Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that does pique my interest.
Okay, and Shredder brought some ooze with him.
Mm-hmm.
So make of that what you will.
Okay. All right. I'll check. I'll look into it.
But thank you, Kojo. Thank you for sending that.
Yep. Thank you very much for your voicemail, Kojo. Keep in touch, would you please?
We're lonely.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see.
Now, while I take a big swig out of my Buc-ee's cup, go ahead and get the email queued up.
All right.
That rhymed.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? How about that? You're a poet and you didn't know it. Okay. All right. First one is from DM Sonny. I think he's a new emailer to the show.
Oh, Sonny.
Oh God! Don't. Just don't.
Donnie, you're so true. I love you.
I asked you not to. Why'd you have to? Why didn't you listen to me?
Well, anyway. I could have gone into a chorus of "I Got You, Babe."
Well, I would have preferred that, but you went the other way. Okay. He says, "Hi guys. Thank you for keeping this show going for so long. After almost a year, I am finally just about caught up on all your episodes."
Well, it's been quite an effort, but we managed to do that for 11 years.
Yeah, since about March 2010. Yep. Let's see. Full On mentions the Core Rule CD often. So do I. As an avid user of the program to run my campaigns, I'd be interested in hearing more about his hacks. Other than some magic items that I've created for my campaigns, I haven't delved much into custom data. Oh, you are missing out, sir. Once you make that program work for you, you can pretty much put anything you want in there. But anyway, he says, thanks again, and I hope to be listening to you guys for many years to come. DM Sunny. Full on?
No pressure here.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten it to work recently on on a modern computer, so I haven't had a reinstall of it happen and been actively using it successfully. I'd have to dig up and resurrect an ancient computer to make it work. Although I can access some of the files and the books and stuff. I bought them; they're available. I have the PDFs,
right?
But and the RTF stuff like that. But the program itself, again, it's rarely does it have a problem. It just kind of works as is. It was only things like specifically the drow where there was a blatant error that was caused by them inputting the data from the table directly rather than the text, which matters, which caused the whole snafu. So you had to create a custom race, and then once you have the custom race created, you can have the program do the vital statistics and the probabilities for party generation or equipment generation, stuff like that. And it just takes remembering that you've got a whole bunch of different categories and tables to cross-reference to make them have the right tags to show up in a treasure generator or a encounter generator or anything like that. So it just takes being able to sit down, try it out, run a few test fires, and see does it do it correctly, or do I get weird encounters that are broken and I have to retool it to do the probabilities right.
Right.
It just means learning the language of the system. Once you get the language of the system down and you figure out what it's asking for and how, then you can make it do some pretty fun things, and it can make your GM duties a lot easier.
Yep.
I'll say.
Agreed. I mean, I actually put my martial artist class and my monk class in there, and yeah, I had to kind of learn it. And then putting in custom monsters, that's where the real fun begins, because, as you know, there are literally tens, if not hundreds of thousands of homebrew monsters on the internet, depending on where you look, and not to mention all the stuff in Dragon.
Yeah. Getting the shared files from the website that supports it, pulling in all those extra support files and batching all those in is great, and they're useful, and it gets you a lot of useful monsters and a lot of useful equipment, a lot of useful magic items, and other things. It's good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I love messing with it. It's awesome.
Remember, I don't know if purpleworm.org is still out there, but remember how they...
I think they're gone. Hold on, let me check that.
They used to have hacks, or rather, they would fix the problems in that program, in that piece of software. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they had all the update files. For it. Yeah, and they have gone the way of the Dodo-Bird, unfortunately.
It says they fixed the fixed the elf problem and all that.
Right. Yep. So I mean, you can put pretty much anything you want in there.
Internet Archive you could probably find it, but I don't know if you can get the files off it.
Maybe not. Use the Wayback Machine. You can probably find all that stuff. I mean, I've put, oh goodness, all kind of custom races and everything like that, character races, and like I said, it's a great program, and it works as is, like Full On said. Just every once in a while they came out with updates to tweak everything. The problem is that you have to go ahead.
It was that program's mapping file that I did my big custom poster version of Blood Mountain for BattleTech.
Right. Oh, you're Dragon Mountain for BattleTech?
Blood Mountain for BattleTech, yeah. I used that map generator to fabricate the BattleTech map I used for Blood Mountain.
See, that's awesome. The kind of thing Gage would love if you saw him at the con, if you ran something like that. Dragons End-to-end mix?
So that's something different. That's a different show. Go finish watching Gate like I told you to, and you'll see that stuff go on.
Yeah, but I'm saying he loves that stuff, so he'd be a natural for it.
Absolutely. Okay, so that one goes in the...
Thank you, Sonny.
Yep, that goes in the archive, and on to the next one.
Bag and shag and bag it.
Exactly. All right, this one is from...
Bagging and tagging, boys.
Exactly.
From who? From
DM
who?
Charlie.
Hey, Charlie. Hey, DM Charlie. Finnegan, shut up.
Okay.
Sorry, it just hit me.
Yeah. He said, "Hi guys, I just finished listening to your entire back catalog of episodes. I really enjoy the opportunity to listen to the conversations I used to have with my gaming friends. I have a question for you concerning the delayed blast fireball spell."
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Long before even 3rd edition was a thing, I believed that a delayed blast fireball produced a red glass item shaped about the size and shape of a hand grenade. When I read the 2nd edition description of the spell, there's no mention of this. I thought it was just me, but all members of my group at the time told me they thought the same thing and were surprised it wasn't actually part of the spell. Any idea where we got this misconception?
I don't know, but it should be.
If I remember right, that's one of the reasons why I'm irritated that my AD&D Spellbook app just decided to disappear off my phone, because I could have looked it up.
The description comes across as a small fiery sphere, like the size of a big marble. A large marble is what is described at, not a hand grenade size or softball fire.
Oh,
yeah, but
so about the size of a shooter.
The actual description of that's what the description of regular fireball is while it's in transit from your hand to the origin point.
Right.
But for delayed blast, I would add that back because that's a rule of cool right there. You got this all of a sudden this red globe and you just throw it. That's the delayed blast. You can if you can hit a point.
All of ours were depicted by our DMs as silver ball, like literally a big steel ball bearing.
Oh, okay.
Tink, 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 and roll around. Those were menacing as hell to us, and we freaked some people out with that.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to steal that.
Again, that's as easy as just taking the flavors that you can from Dragon 200 and saying, I want to take my delayed blast fireball looks like this. My delayed blast fireball looks like this. You want it to be a swirling ball of golden fluttery butterflies? Go for it. You want it to be a raging ball of nuclear firing that's the size of a pineapple in your hand? Do it. You want to make it a steel ball bearing you can beam somebody upside the head with and it rolls across the floor? That works too. It's good for making people swallow them as well.
Oh yeah.
No rough edges. Goes down easy.
Hey, I saw The Rock.
Exactly. Okay.
The minute you disrespect this, it kills you.
Exactly. Yep. Okay, and his email continues because he has a comment about Aurora's whole world catalog. I'm trying to go back in our episodes to figure out where we all talked about it.
Because
sure
we
did. We gushed about that. We gushed about that supplement. He didn't hear it. Yeah. Well, no, we actually did a full segment on Auroras, and it was the four of us, and we all had wonderful things to say about it. Okay, he says, as for my comment on Auroras, I didn't hear it mentioned in the show. I don't know how he could have missed it, but okay. But Auroras is a fantasy version of something called the Whole Earth Catalog, which was like Counterculture, Amazon.com, and huge paperback form. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I have it.
Actually, it's a Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, he's saying you can find PDFs of all of them online for free download. Yeah, no kidding, dude. Shh. Don't blow up our spot, man.
It's a combination of that and the old. Remember the reprint of the 1906 Sears catalog?
Yes.
Remember they were doing those turn of the century Sears, 1899. It's kind of a combination of the both of those.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. If my email gets read, please allow me to give a shout out to one of the greatest gaming stores, if not the greatest gaming store, World's Best Games and Comics in Newport News, Virginia. All hail the one true Bob. Anyway, thanks for a great show, and I look forward to more, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie, but I can argue that. But hey.
Sorry, Charlie. We did talk about Aurora's.
Yeah. I mean, I could argue about his game shop, but hey, any game shop is a good game shop. So,
agreed, 100%. Agreed.
I would put up the War House in Long Beach any day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Right.
But that's me. You go ahead and you pimp them. Yeah.
Right. I mean, for me it'd be Enterprise 1701 / Sci-Fi City in Orlando, Florida. But okay,
I've got Game HQ.
The Hobbit Hobby and Games in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
There you go. We're all in different parts of the country, so our particular. There was a place in downtown Ann Arbor called the Underground that was absolutely fantastic. It had every edition of D&D up to 3.5 before they had to shut down because rental space in downtown Ann Arbor is horrifically expensive. So if you're not pulling in the money,
that on COVID.
Yeah, no kid. No, that happened long before COVID. I think they shut down 2007. I think 2006, 2007 when they shut down.
Oh yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, it was a wonderful place. But anyway, let me move on to our next one. I just have to archive this one.
Thank you, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you very much, Charlie. Okay.
Tag it and bag it, boys.
Yep. On to the next one. Okay. Short one. This is from DM John. He says. New listener here, starting with episode 1. This email was sent on June 11th. Starting with episode 1, hopefully it won't take me 10 years to catch up on the current episode. We started in 2011.
Took us 11 years to do them.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we started in 2010, John. We're still going, kind of, sort of. But yeah. That's basically what it was. He just was amazed we had that many episodes.
I was amazed.
It's like watching 100. Just watch 127 hours twice, and you're there.
Exactly. So. Okay. I got another one. This one was off of osrgaming.org, our website, our home website. Basically, yeah. Well, it was for a while, but I don't know if anybody's even tending to the place anymore. But that's just me.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, this is from DM Jeff. And he said, this was an email he sent to me directly, but I thought it would be good to read on the show. He said, hello, Brian. Many years ago, I was here as Dungeon Tunist. That was his nickname on the website back in the day. Even after disappearing from the forums, I continued to listen to THACO's Hammer, RFI, and Save or Die, and I've always found each of them to be a great source of inspiration. It seems like interest in the older games has tapered off. I disagree, but we'll keep going. And it makes me sad. I've always felt that there really is no end to the possibilities for spirited and lively discussion about the games I've loved and run as a DM since I was a kid. In fact, I've taken on the role of player a grand total of 5 times since I picked up the Mulvey edition of Basic in 1981. Anyway,
wow.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm currently in the process of downloading past episodes so that I can relive the excitement of listening to them and revisit the inspiration they gave me as a dungeon master. Now at the age of 51, and by the way, as it happens, I've lived in both Big Rapids and Flint, Michigan as a kid. My daughters have all left home, and sometimes I pull these books off the shelves and finally remember the times I spent playing and discussing each edition. I just want you to know how much I appreciate all the work you and the others have put into keeping this game alive. I'll be checking into the forums. Take care, DM Jeff.
Thank you, DM Jeff. And hey, you're not dead yet. Keep playing.
Yeah. No, there's plenty of interest. I I belong to at least 6 or 7 groups on Facebook that's for old school gaming or D&D Second Edition in particular. So
I mean,
it's not
you
dead.
You heard what I was backing on Kickstarter, right? Hyperborea 3E, which is 1E, and Back to Basics, which is for BX. So stuff is still coming out.
Yep.
Not to mention Old School Essentials is wildly popular, and that's just BX redone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And there are second edition. There's actually another second edition retro clone. I forgot the name of it, but we've been
Besides Golden.
There's another one. I just forgot what the name of it is. We've been on the For Gold and Glory train because number one, our man Corey has been doing art for it. And number two, it's the closest retro clone to second edition as to make no difference. They just renamed some stuff. So
here's another one that's been getting a lot of good press, like on YouTube lately, which is, and this has been around for quite a while, Basic Fantasy.
Right.
Chris Gonerman's game.
Yep, Basic Fantasy RPG. Yep.
It's an easy in because the PDFs are free, all of them, and they're cheap to buy, and people are just, it's having a renaissance right now. It really is.
Yep, for sure. I mean, there are plenty of clones out there.
It wouldn't have anything to do with the fact that people are disgusted with the incarnations of modern gaming that feel like you're just trying to do MMO, JRPGs, and other video game activities with paper.
You're thinking of 4E.
And 5E.
Yeah.
But the point is, they make 5E very, 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 very accessible, but it's not accessible to my wallet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Precisely. That's the reason why I don't want to really give it a shot, because I don't want to have to start paying for it.
Let's see, $50 for one book versus for $50 I can buy like 10 or 12 Basic Fantasies and hand it out to my players. I'll take the Basic Fantasy, thank you, because they're like $5 a book.
Yep. And as long as you don't allow yourself to be fleeced, you can get second edition books for reasonable prices. I mean, the problem is that the market's gone crazy, just like with almost everything, ranging from automobiles all the way down to baseball trading cards.
This is why I don't really, if somebody says, oh man, it's too expensive to get into role playing, I don't pay any attention to that. It says you're just not looking in the right place.
Yeah, there are plenty of alternatives. Plenty of legitimate alternatives as well.
I know Old School Essentials is great, but you can't afford it. Like I said, Basic Fantasy is right over there, and you can print. And the PDFs are free. You can print them out yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, just take it down to your local FedEx office store.
Screw that.
Go to Lulu and have them printed out if you really want to go high quality.
Screw that. I've got a Brother laser printer sitting here doing nothing.
Right.
If I wanted to print the whole book out and put it in a binder or something like that, I would.
I hear
you. What is the cost of paper, toner, and a binder? Maybe page protectors if you're really,
if you're going to be really anal retentive. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but that gets us some money. But we're talking about what, $5 for the book, or free for the book. And it's 160 pages, I think.
Right.
And so that translates about 80, double-sided.
Right.
And you can, so we're looking at, I don't know, about maybe a $1.50 a toner, and the paper's cheap. You can probably get it done, do it yourself for $10.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
You buy the binder, that's $10 right there.
And not only that, places like Drive-Thru do have print on demand, and the prices aren't crazy.
Yeah, and they sell, like Basic Fantasy, the whole thing, they sell it on Amazon. If you got Prime, $5 for a book, $5 plus tax. Come on.
Exactly. And with Prime, you usually get it in 2 days too. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are plenty of options. So for sure. Okay. All right. Moving on to our last email.
Okay.
It is from DM Michael.
Hi,
and
Michael.
He's a regular emailer to the show, so he says thus. Dear Thanko's Hammer. Wow, called out by name for not writing. Yeah, I think we called him out for not emailing the show.
Who is this again?
Michael.
Hi.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah.
He says...
Mikey, Michael, or Mike?
Michael.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael.
Okay, Mikey, go ahead.
You guys are so bad. He says, I'm not sure if I should feel honored or worried about my life's choices. I had avoided writing because I wasn't sure of the line between fan of the show and obsessive, creepy weirdo. Okay, stop. Let's put it this way. Kojo, we said, is our sixth Beatle. You know, it's me, Full On, Glenn, Corey, Bad Mike, and then there's Kojo. Because Kojo has been such a contributor through the years. You know, he's gotten away from second edition, but I understand why he's done that.
And right now, Corey is like the drummer from Spinal Tap.
Yeah, Corey's chained to his easel. Basically, they only let him away from it to go to the bathroom and to eat some gruel. Then it's back to painting.
Yeah. So he's not the Pete Best.
No,
okay.
No. Corey is. Well, let's see. I'd have to be Lennon. You would have to be McCartney. Glenn. Let's see. Full On Full-On's Ringo for sure.
I'd be Ringo.
No, Full-On's Ringo. Full-On's crazier than you are. Full-On be Ringo. And Corey would be George Harrison. and Kojo, Bad Mike would be Billy Preston. I know, funny, right? But yeah.
And the rest of our audience is Wings.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm glad you didn't say Kojo was Yoko.
No. I would never say that.
We know who Yoko is.
Yeah, we do know who Yoko is.
Oh, she's not bad.
Yes, she is.
I was going to take exception with McCartney because of Mr. But then again, he knows how to write, Mr. Sappy, but he doesn't know how to write a commercial song, and he's still going.
Yeah, pushing 80 years old too.
I mean, he's still churning it. He's still churning it out and touring. So sure. I can't argue with the millions and millions and millions of dollars he has.
I tried billions.
Okay.
Yeah, he crossed the billion mark several years ago. But anyway, to continue.
But then again, you're not going to be shot by a crazed fan. So
no,
anyway,
exactly. Yeah, but whatever. Of course, D&D is the unofficial hobby of creepy weirdos, so I'm not sure why I was worried. Jeez. Yeah, and you want to know what? With some of the things I see on Facebook, I can't disagree, but we'll leave that alone. To continue, my question for you today is on the piecemeal armor rules that first appeared in the Complete Fighter's Handbook.
Dungeons and Dragons. At least they're not doing drugs.
Well, most of them.
That was way back when. Anyway, Go ahead. Piecemeal armor. Armor.
More specifically, I was wondering about using these rules for more than just finding random bits of armor, but rather for a suit of armor deliberately made up of different types. Samurai armor, for instance, or the gladiator armor in the Complete Fighter's Handbook, or like the torso-only partial armor from the Rome Splat book. My question for you is, do you use these rules? And I guess more than that, if you did use them, how would you use them? I asked this question on a forum one time, and about a third of the people replied no. Well, gee, that's really helpful. Thanks, keep up the show, all that stuff, Michael.
I had a character who had a full set of plate, but it was made out of pots and pans and other things. So
he had to be a dwarf. I've seen that.
Yeah.
You want to know what? The funny part is none of my players ever wanted to use it. They never wanted to do it. I mean, it's more for flavor than anything else. Mm-hmm. But you know what? The first time that the party finds a magical suit of armor, the two fighters are arm wrestling each other over it. And yeah, and if it's a really nice suit of magical plate mail, the paladin's like that. I want that. And then all of a sudden it becomes, a three-way dance WWE style,
Yeah.
But,
and if Gage was in the game, if he didn't get field plate, he would not be happy.
Exactly. Established trait. So, I mean, I would use it if someone wanted to, but in the end, and I hate to say it like this, but no, I won't say most, but a good number of players that I DM'd were min-maxers, so they weren't looking at that, because then they'd have to keep track of different armor classes because, let's see, they have like a chainmail shirt over leather armor or something like that, and, things of that nature.
There are ways and there are ways. You don't have to be overly complex if you don't want to be overly complex, and it is, at the end, basically a stylistic choice.
Yep.
In reality, almost all the armor depicted for D&D play is mishmash of armor types collaborated together in non-realistic or non-historical ways. You could take a look at the rants from Shadiversity from his YouTube series on various fantasy armors and stuff about that to see what was and what wasn't a thing. Same with weapons. But there are ways that you can take care of. I mean, you don't have to do piecemeal armor as I'm armor class 10 on my arms, I'm armor class 2 on my chest, and I'm armor class 8 on my head. Unless you're using hit locations. And if you're using hit locations, are you using hit location tables for all combat or only for called shots? I mean, that is why, you can say, I wear chainmail. I'm AC 5. I am not wearing a helm. If someone does a called shot to my head, it's AC 10. But it's the penalty for a called shot to a head, so it breaks even.
Right.
As long as I, am not flat-footed, I don't care. It's that easy if you want to go that easy.
Well, that kind of
mixing
thing.
and matching the pieces of different styles and types of armor. Are you dealing with armor maintenance, where you have armor breaking down? Are you using item damage rules, where it becomes an issue of, well, this stuff got destroyed, but this stuff is still functional. I can replace this and have a functioning suit of armor. It averages out as, okay, I'm AC 6 today. Or I can say I'm specifically AC 3 here, AC 5 here, AC 2 here, whatever. And it all depends on the level of grit you want and how smooth you can maintain that. If it's in the way, push it to the side. If it blends with the style of play you're doing and the intent of the play you're doing, and it's important for the situation, the plot, or the combat, roll it back in. That is why the dueling rules from Combat and Tactics suck, except for the people who love them. Okay, people who love them. The good hits, bad misses crit tables are great, except for the people who despise them because it's a way to kill things quickly. But sometimes you want to kill things quickly, and as long as you're using it on both sides of the screen, it's fun.
Yep.
That's just my definition.
And
you can do the same thing with the armor.
Yeah, that kind of thing does answer the question quite nicely. What do I need a helm for? It doesn't add to my armor class.
Oh, sure it does. If you want to go that way.
Your armor class. And, the random headshot or the trap that targets everybody's head, specifically, just because it was written that way in the encounter, so that's what happens. Hope you're not a gnome. Hope you are a gnome.
Yeah.
Okay, good to go.
Exactly.
So it works both ways.
Yep.
Those things, it's all the rule of cool. It's all style points at that point. If you want to make them crunchy, make them crunchy. If you want to make it factual, make it factual. If you want to make it historically accurate renditions of combat, well, we can do that too. And there are fighting styles and there are groups and there are battles that deal with that.
Right.
Yeah. I can't remember how many times I've had a fighter. I mean, because me, it's all one armor class. I don't deal with that. But so many of my fighters grabbed a chain shirt, put it on, and that was good for them.
Right.
Chain shirt over whatever they were wearing.
Yeah, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
And then they picked up a shield, and it's like, okay, I'm AC this from the front, but I'm not from the back.
Right.
Okay? It's all the same thing, just different layers of it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I mean, that's the way I've always felt about it. It's like, look, see, the problem is that there are just too many players who want to go or not players, but players and DMs who want to go ultra gritty. And it's like, if you want to go ultra gritty, then a lot of the mechanics that are put in this game to keep the game moving at a relative pace and not have your characters bleed to death from sword cuts and other things like that, they mitigate all that stuff. It's like, look, you have a static thing called hit points. It's not just what you have, and it's a abstract concept to begin with. I don't know why people have so many problems with it, but I see it on Facebook all the time. But it's an abstract concept, which means, basically it's a number that means it's a number that's spent down as you are dodging things, you are taking a taking a blow that's meant to separate your head from the shoulders, but instead you turn so you take the cut on your arm, or, you're basically dodging a shot at your heart and you basically get hit in your ribs, or in things like that. And it's like, if you want to do it that way, fine. But at the same time, it's like everybody wants to make it realistic. It's like, this is not a realistic system. It never was.
Not.
Never was. And you're trying to make it something that it's not. If you want to do that, if you want realistic, I mean, hell, Pendragon is more realistic.
I've got ways.
Yeah. Yeah, Middle-earth role-playing if you want to get real gritty.
Well, no, I can break out the Cyberpunk Friday Night Firefight rules, where a combat round is 3.2 seconds long.
I remember.
It's broken up into 10 initiative segments because it's that fast.
Yep.
And it all has to do with hit location. And we can go that we can go there if you want to go there. It's very, very doable for those that want to delve into the difference between a whiff, a block, a hit, and a hurt.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all those things that hit points have always been.
Yep.
I mean, you could simply say anything that rolls to hit AC 10 and misses is a complete whiff.
Yep.
Anything that goes above AC 10 but is below your armor class, bounced off your armor. That's what it's there for.
Yep.
Anything that goes above your armor class and starts sucking into your hit points can still bounce off of your armor until you go down, because the thing that makes you go down is what makes you bleed and die.
Yep.
So basically, the last hit points that equal your, that throw in the vitality and wound point system.
Yep.
So now I've got vitality points, which is all of my hit dice for all of my levels, which is all the things I use to not get hit,
Yep.
to actually bleed.
Yep.
That's my skill, my stamina, my training, my luck, the fortune of the gods, my ability to block. So taking a hit takes hit points. Blocking takes hit points. It is fatiguing to be in combat. Try going full bore, hand-to-hand combat with someone ever. You will be drained in a minute and a half. Just throw down as hard as you can with the intent to do harm.
Yep.
You will be exhausted in a minute flat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
And that's if you're in good shape.
That.
I believe it.
And taking a hit that you blocked is just as draining as whisking your body around to dodge a hit. So all those things together bleed out your hit points, vitality points, until you're actually taking the hits that make your nose bleed, your eyes swell, your ribs crack, and you fall down coughing up blood.
Yep.
You started taking hit point damage, and it's into your constitution points now.
Yep.
So that's what that really reflects.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like that system.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I agree 100%. And that's the whole thing. And the first time I actually saw that system was in a D&D game that my first DM ran while we were hanging out in the Dunkin' Donuts in the early 90s. And it made a lot of sense. Then the second time I ran into it was the second edition of D20 Star Wars. And I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. It's perfect. I mean, just watching the movies I was just thinking about while Full On was talking. It's like that one scene in The Empire Strikes Back where they're escaping Cloud City, where Princess Leia is shooting at a stormtrooper. She shoots at him, and then she flattens herself against a wall as a shot goes right past her face. I'm like, that's taking hit point or taking vitality point damage. I'm like, that's a perfect aspect of it, and I'm just like, if that, and I agree with Full On 100%. If that's what you want to do, then there are systems in place that you can do that to make it at least a little more realistic. But the thing is that if you're going to try and take the D&D combat system and hit point system and make it 100% realistic, you're wasting your time. You're barking up the wrong tree. You're going to find out that 10th level characters will not survive a fight with a dragon. They will not. Because
they won't. Yeah, I can make your 10th level characters not survive a fight with a goblin. And that was before I watched Goblin Slayer.
And then there's that. So, I mean, that's the whole thing. It just boggles my mind how people just want to complain about it. It's like, look, it's not a realistic system, dude. Abstract. Meaning, there's a lot of things. It's just like with combat. When it distills down to a dice roll to hit armor class, there are a lot of feints, movements, parries, real attacks, false attacks going on before that die is actually rolled. It's in your imagination. That's where a lot of people lose the plot, but I'm not going to get off on that rant. But,
it's like, you can deliver a series of attacks in a period of time way more than what D&D says you do in the course of a 10-second combat round or a 1-minute combat round, depending on the edition you're playing in.
Yep.
Because that's just the one that is effective enough to matter. Everything else is just the posturing, the posing, the parrying, the maneuvering, the seeking advantage, and feeling each other out.
Yeah.
But again, it's what level of grit do you want in your game? First question to ask, am I doing completely narrative? Is this text-based, basically? Okay, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
Am I going at least miniatures? Okay, with miniatures, now we get into facing matters and what side something is on matters. So, that's where you get into, do you have a shield? Okay, it covers your front and your shielded side. It doesn't cover your not shielded side or your back.
Right.
Okay? As opposed to, I have this level of protection and it is 360. It is 360 barrier around me because in my space I'm turning in all directions at the same time. Well, you're getting tired as you do that a lot, but it can be done. But generally, do you want to go into facing in miniatures? And it gets a little bit more gritty, and you can have a little more context. Then you get into, are you dealing with things like damaged equipment? Okay. Damaged equipment means you have mismatched equipment. You can, get by with just saying it's the average of things are all together. You don't want to let people get away with, I put a steel cap on my head. My head is AC2. It averages with the AC10, so now I'm AC5 for my whole body. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
You don't let them get away with the silly. That's where DMs come in. You have to make some judgment calls. When does it matter that your head is uncovered? When does it matter that you don't have any gloves or gauntlets or leather or anything on your hands? It's bare skin, and you're reaching into the black cling for what?
Yeah, exactly.
This is what gauntlets are made for.
Yep.
Reaching into stuff like that and getting your hand chopped off.
I
stuff
agree.
like that. Anyway, thank you. Who was that again?
That was, you would have to ask me that after I archived it. Oops. Hang on. I'll get it.
That's no way to treat a new responder.
That was. Oh, now I gotta go back. Jeez, hold on.
The day.
Oh, there it is. That was Michael. Yeah, that was.
Thank you,
regular
Michael.
emailer, Michael. Yes.
Yeah, the day came when I've been chastised by Full On.
Well, Yeah,
anyway,
like that hasn't happened.
Time to close the old mailbag and time to close this splat book.
Yes, indeed.
Aren't you guys happy?
Yep. And if you want to email the show, and we are asking because we just emptied out our mailbox, you can email us at thacoshammer@gmail.com.
That's right.
Or you can call and leave a voicemail like Kojo did, and that number is area code 405-806-0555. I can talk. Really, I can.
Don't call 911.
Yeah, don't do that. You'll go to jail. We don't want you. We don't want you to go to jail.
I hope you guys are all happy in this post-COVID world, and I can't do what Eric Tenkar does, and he does the whole, we're not professionals, but be careful out there and all that kind of stuff. So just be careful out there. How about that?
Yeah, and if you got your vaccination shots, good. If you didn't and you're refusing to do so, fine. I don't want to hear about it.
Something like that.
Anyway, like that.
You want to say goodnight, Falon? Goodbye, Falon?
Alrighty, Gamer Nation. If you want to throw down, let's put on a Red Man suit and I'll show you what 2 minutes combat looks like. If you need to warm up, get your Beat Saber on and practice that dual wield so you can be like a drow, like a boss. And we'll see what it's like on the other side, Gamer Nation.
But as Chris Evans said, put on the suit and let's go.
Exactly.
And Brian?
Oh, by the way, I love the new Dark Alliance. It's fun. It still needs some kinks to be worked out, but it's a fun game. So yeah, it's fun. Until next time, folks.
That's what he said.
Anyway, until next time, you guys just stay cool. Stay safe. Go have fun. Things are getting better. Let's get back to how things used to be. How about that?
Yeah, okay.
Glenn!
Game on.
Dude, listen, just game. That's all I'm saying. Just game.
Yeah. Get together and have some fun. Online, offline, face-to-face, whatever you got to do.
Okay.
Hey, my BattleTech map is big enough I can guarantee everybody's 6 feet apart the whole time.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that monstrosity.
Saying, just game, and afterwards, look us up again when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer. Bye-bye. Oh, just game.
Yep. Just
keep on gaming. Keep on
need to make that. I still need to make Blood Mountain in 3D. I have my plan. I just need materials.
That would be interesting. Anyway, we're out.
12 feet long.
THACO's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at thacoshammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at thacoshammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the 2nd edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.